Welcome to the Born for Better podcast, where it's about better health, better wealth, better self. And I'm your host, Devin.djwan. And today, what I'd like to discuss with you all is notions versus expectations. You know, we have this whole idea of how things should go. We believe that because we have conceptualized this thing in our mind, that is going to eventually be. Well, when it comes to other people, you can't control what other people do. You want to, you would like to, or you say, I just wish that things would be like this, but the truth of it all is it isn't. The reality is it isn't. So when you're saying, I have this idea in my head how things are going to go, this is a concept. This is a concept. This is you idealizing, right? This is in the perfect world. This would happen. But does it happen like that? No, not necessarily. This is you saying, okay, I'm going to have a friend who does this. I'm going to have, a partner who does this. I'm going to have a family who does this. I'm going to have a job or a career that does this. It's all just idealizing. And that's having a notion. I believe that one day things will be this way. If I believe it, I can achieve it. Good. It's good you think that. That's not how it always goes. But it's good to have those thoughts. It's good to be positive. But once you realize that that's not reality and you wake up to the real world, you say, okay, that's all right. That's all right. This whole notion that I had, maybe it's not going to come to pass. That's all right. But I expect that this is going to happen. So I know if I just work hard here, if I just talk enough to this person here, if I just listen more here, if I just do more here, if I just be more here, you see. So now you're placing an expectation on a person, place, or thing because of something that you think should happen based off of whatever merit, whatever energy, whatever value you are putting into the situation. But that's not how it goes. It's just not how it goes. You can say, I'm going to give 110%. And that means that the opposite party is going to give me that same 110% back. Yeah, that's how it's going to go. No, it's not. You're going to give that 110, and then they're going to turn around and be like, I'm going to give you 50. He's like, dang, 50? Yeah, I'm going to give you 50. You should be lucky that I'm giving you 50. That's how it happens. So having notions and expectations is setting yourself up for the fail. That's what it is. You can have a notion about something that you want in life, something that you can control, which is yourself. You can control what it is you do, what it is you think about. So then you say, okay, I have a notion that I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I got this big dream of mine and I want to see it fulfilled. I'm going to bring it into fruition if I just keep working at it, keep manifesting it. And you know what? If you do that, you will bring it to fruition. Guarantee it, you will. It may take a while. Don't think it's going to be no drive through McDonald's type situation. Like, no, it won't be instant gratification. But yes, you will be able to do it. But it's when we say, I believe this person is going to do this and that person is going to do that. I believe this place is going to give me this and this place is going to give me that. I believe this thing is going to do this for me and that thing is going to do that. And when we do that, oh my goodness, ooh, the setup. the setup that we are putting ourselves through, and we just have no idea, no clue, until we realize, yeah, that's not how it works. And you know, if we don't check that, then we'll continue this perpetual cycle of expectations and notions that a person, place, or thing is supposed to do something for us based off of what we conceptualize and idealize, or based off of the merit, you know, the energy, the value that we put into it. So we expect something back. That is, I'm hard pressed to tell you this. It's just a hard thing to deal with. I've dealt with it. I'm sure you listening, you've dealt with it at some point in time. It's just not how it goes. Now, when you do find people, places, and things that literally uphold your expectations and actually push your notions from the esoteric to reality, don't take it for granted. Value that person, place, or thing, because it's a rarity. Okay? I'm just letting you know what it is. Value it. If we don't take time to look at the people, places, and things that are really helping us out, we're doing ourselves a disservice. And what is this all for anyway? You know? But I see it time and time again. I've gone through it enough to know about it. This is why I'm talking to you about it right now. But I see it with other people. I see it with friends of mine. I see it with family members of mine. Like, everybody has these expectations. You think, if I just give a little bit more, if I just do a little bit more, if I just become a little bit more, if you just do all of that, then all of a sudden you expect this miracle to manifest, and it just does not happen that way. It won't happen that way. Why? Because you can't place expectations on anything external and expect for something to come back. If it does, good, but it doesn't always happen that way. It won't happen that way majority of the time, but you can place expectations on yourself, on your thoughts, on your emotions. You can do that. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, that's when it's going to make sense. That's when it's going to make sense. And then this notion, this grandiose notion, this idea that, oh, I've dreamed about this time and time again. I see it. It's in my mind. I have a vision that it's going to be like this. If it's not a vision that involves what you're going to do, but it involves what you believe other people are going to do, oh, you're setting yourself up for the big upset. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're setting yourself up. So it would best suit you to think about the vision that you have for yourself and what you're going to do in this life. It will suit you to think about your thoughts and consider, are these thoughts serving you or are they not? If they're not, how do you get rid of them, reprogram yourself, do something different? Your emotions, the emotions that you're feeling, do they make you feel good or not? If they do not make you feel good, then it is best to have a notion of only dealing with emotions that make you feel good, and if some way, somehow find a way to subside the other ones. That's what it is. I wish I could sugarcoat this, but I can't. It just is what it is. And here's the thing. If you're listening, Somebody placed an expectation on you. Somebody had notions about you. And guess what? You let them down. You didn't fulfill that expectation. You didn't bring to fruition the notion they had about you. Does that make you a bad person? No. Just makes you human. Guess what? People have had expectations and notions about me, and I didn't meet those expectations, or I didn't fulfill the notion they had. Does that make me a bad person? No, it just makes me human. It is what it is. Now, how do we bring this all together? Well, if both parties were able to communicate to each other what it is that they wanted, if they were able to do that and say, okay, you know what? I in the very beginning up front, I expect this, and this. But not only are they saying they expect it, they're going to show you. They're going to show you by example what they expect. So then you follow by example. Or if they share with you this idea, this concept, this notion that they have, they operate based off of that notion that they have as if it's already here. Now you have an example. And if the other party reciprocates that, then that means that they're on board. If they don't reciprocate that, they don't care. That's what it is. And that's what it is. And then you find the in-between where both parties, they start off on board with each other, both have communicated their expectations and notions, and then both have listened and heard, and they're following through with it. But then somewhere along the line, somebody starts to falter, or they start to let up, or they start to go astray. And if that isn't addressed right away, then it continues to happen. It continues to happen to the point where now that person is no longer in agreement with the expectation, or they're no longer on board with fulfilling this notion. And if neither party does anything to turn it around, then it will continue to stay that way. This is what we're dealing with, you all. This is what it is. Notions and expectations. You can't expect much from people. You can't have notions involving so many people, especially when you yourself are not setting the example of that expectation and that notion. So now that we know the difference between the two, and now that you understand what the two are about, just know this: you can only place expectations and notions in yourself, and then at that point in time, you have 100% control of what happens after you have placed those expectations and notions upon yourself. If you don't go through with it, that's on you. You don't get upset with anybody but yourself. But you know what? At the same time, you were in full control of that. So you were able to dictate the potential outcome. It's time that we start to put away these expectations of everything external. It's time that we start to put away these notions of everything external and focus on turning that inward. Turning that inward. What expectations do I have of me? What notions do I have involving me? And you know what? You may turn around, and those expectations and notions that you have upon yourself, you may find people start to follow that because they see you walking in that. So when you think about the next expectation, the next notion that you have, I hope it's internalized and not externalized, because that's the only thing you can control is yourself. With that being said, remember this: do better is an action. Be better is a lifestyle. I'm your host, Devin.djwan. And until next time, take care.